The channel is called Predictive History. The premise, stated openly, is borrowed from Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, specifically the fictional science of psychohistory, the idea that mass human behavior follows patterns that can be modeled and predicted, even if individual behavior cannot. Jiang is asking, is this real? Can you actually do this? His methodology draws on three main tools. First, long cycle historical analogy, comparing present situations to structural equivalents from the past, primarily from classical antiquity. Second, game theory, mapping the incentive structure of key actors, asking what each player rationally must do given their position and constraints. Third, civilizational analysis, looking at the underlying belief system and institutional logics that shape what options are even available to a given society at a given moment. The Iran Lecture, Episode 8 of his Geostrategy series, is the one that broke through. In it, he walks a class of students through what he calls the Iran trap. His argument, a returning Trump administration would be structurally compelled toward military confrontation with Iran, not because any single actor's choice, but because the interlocking incentive structures, Israeli lobby pressure, Saudi strategic interests, America's need to maintain the petrodollar's hegemony, and Iran's own incentive to probe for weakness. He then applies his historical analogy. The Sicilian expedition, 415 BC, Athens, the preeminent power of the ancient Greek world, launches an ambitious military campaign against Syracuse in Sicily. It is catastrophically overextended, undersupplied, and ultimately destroyed. The expedition didn't just fail militarily, it broke the psychological infrastructure of Athenian confidence. Jiang argues the structural parallels to the potential American ground campaign in Iran are precise: mountainous terrain hostile to mass troop deployment, supply lines that cannot be secured, a population that will not cooperate, and a military-industrial complex hollowed out by decades of outsourcing. His third prediction, the one still unresolved, is that the United States loses. Not just withdraws, loses. And that this loss becomes the civilizational inflection point he's been tracking across 60-plus lectures on his history of human societies. You can push back on the methodology, critics have. The game theory is often asserted rather than demonstrated. The historical analogies are selective. The cases that fit get cited, the cases that don't go unmentioned.